Hi, I'm Suzanne Gould, an intentional living consultant, and I blog about intentional living, simplified living, and just how to be more intentional with how we live our life. And I also focus on minimizing. So today I wanted to read you my blog post that I wrote recently called Money Mindset Challenge. And this is about being more intentional with our money. I tend to think about money in two ways: everyday spending and larger financial goals. For us personally, this is mostly traveling and retirement planning. What I've noticed though is that most people don't think of those two ways of spending as one thing. We tend to divide how we think about our spending. What if we were to bring our everyday spending into line with our larger financial goals? Take a minute to consider if your everyday spending habits support your larger goal. If you're not sure, here's a challenge for you to try. Print off your banking statements for your bank accounts and your credit cards for last month. Physically print them off so that you can make notes on them. Categorize the following. When I did this, I used different colored highlighters just to help with visualizing the different areas that we were focused on. So start with marking off your non-negotiable payments. This would be your rent or mortgage and utility bills. These are the things you have to pay every month that you have no control over, the amount that you put towards those things. Then go through and highlight all of your monthly subscriptions. This includes anything and everything that you pay for that's an automatic payment from your accounts or to your credit cards. Once you've highlighted them, actually make a list and add up that monthly total. This just gives you an idea of how much you're spending in the different areas. Highlight your grocery spending without restaurants. You may include in here your paper products, pet food, cleaning supplies, and calculate that total. Then go through it again and highlight your restaurant spending and calculate how much you spend on eating out. Then go through and highlight your entertainment or random or other sort of spending. And calculate that. Make note here of what kinds of things that you spend your money on. Can you even remember what you're spending that money on? That's also kind of a key. Take a look at anything that has not been noted, that's not highlighted, and see if it fits into a different category that you want to calculate, and make sure that you've taken into account all of your spending areas. Don't make any changes yet. The purpose of this exercise is to see in reality the amount that you're spending in various areas. This can be a real wake-up call for some people if you haven't done this kind of exercise before. You don't realize how much you're spending maybe on entertainment or going out or going to restaurants. Sometimes that can be a bit of a surprise. Think about your larger financial goals. Then ask yourself if your day-to-day spending last month supported your larger goals. Now go through each category of spending, and while thinking about your bigger goals, consider the following ideas. So for your subscriptions, look at each subscription individually. Which ones do you use regularly? Which ones have you not used? Even if you use them, do you need them? What would you use instead if you didn't have that subscription? Do you need them all at once? And I asked that question, for example, when my husband and I went through this exercise. We had 3 different TV streaming services. And we kind of thought, we don't watch them all at once. And do we need to be watching them all at once? Do we need this much choice? And we thought, no, it doesn't really make sense. So that we canceled 2 of them. And we thought, it's not a be all end all kind of situation. We can always pick them up again at a later time. And so that's what we decided to do. We thought we'll keep just one for now, and then we'll switch them out. Maybe in the fall, we'll get a different one for 3 months or 4 months. And then we'll cancel that one. And so we're just paying for one at a time. It just seems to make more sense, because even though sure we could be watching any one of them interchangeably at any time, do we need to be? And it's kind of a waste of our money if we can just watch one, get caught up on the shows that are on that one, and then switch to a different one and get caught up on those shows. Makes it a little easier. So by doing that, we saved $30 a month. Some other service subscriptions I was paying for under a family plan, and it turned out that really I was the only one using those services. So I reduced that plan to an individual, and it saved us about $40 a year. Now you might be thinking, like so many of us do, $40 a year, that's like $3 a month. So what? Well, it's easy for us to 5, 10, and 20 buck ourselves to broke. Why give away our hard-earned cash to someone else frivolously when it could be in our pocket? Just because we're too lazy to change a subscription setting? Those small expenditures add up, and that's what we're going to see with this exercise. Normally, we'd have paid for a gym membership year-round, using it or not. However, this year we had a conversation about our gym usage and if it was realistic to pay for it over the summer. We decided it was not worth paying for June, July, and August when we're naturally busier and more active outside. So we put our membership on hold for 3 months, and this saved us $300. This payment will come back into play in the fall, but why give away $300 for something we're not actively using in the moment? Plus, it was a simple email to put our membership on hold. Now take a look at your groceries and restaurant spending. So I calculate our grocery spending separate from our restaurant spending initially to get an idea of where our food dollars are going. Then a quick calculation to combine the numbers just to see the total food budget. When you look at your totals for groceries and restaurants, do these numbers sit right with you when you think about your larger financial goals? In our home, we were underspending on groceries and overspending on restaurants. We needed to change our habits, so we came up with some eating out ground rules and also changed our meal planning and grocery shopping routine. Again, being busier in the summer, we eat out more often than we do in the cooler months and made restaurant arrangements accordingly. With a renewed focus on cooking at home, we significantly dropped our food spending dollars by $200 to $300 a month. Entertainment, other, and random. How much do you spend on your other category? When considered against your larger financial goals, how do you feel about this spending? When you think about what you spend this money on, is it planned spending or impulsive buys? Do you remember what you spent this money on? Being a minimalist home, our impulsive spending is quite under control. We've been doing this for a while, but that didn't mean that we couldn't consider more carefully where we're spending some of our other money. A huge savings came in with my husband deciding to quit smoking. And, he didn't want me to tell anyone that. So, right. So that huge secret, plus making the other adjustments as stated here, we actually saved over $1,000 a month. You'd be surprised how $10 here and $20 there adds up. It was easy to say, well, Netflix is only $18 a month or Disney Plus is only $10 a month. But combined, that's the $30 a month. And, that's money that you can actually be putting towards your larger financial goals instead. It adds up. The little bits do add up. Be careful about getting caught up in the, but it's only a few dollars kind of excuses for continuing spending where it's not necessary. Remember, it's your money that you've worked for. Every hour you get paid, by the hour you're on salary, it's your money. So don't give it away frivolously. You've worked hard for it. It's also not about never spending day-to-day dollars on entertainment or going out for dinner. We can't be so strict with ourselves that we rebel. It's about giving ourselves choices and guidelines to do the things intentionally rather than impulsively or even just on routine. This keeps in mind that our daily spending and our bigger financial goals are in line with each other. And this is how we can meet those goals. Little by little, it really does add up. So I hope you have a really great day, and I'll see you again soon.